Verstappen leaving Red Bull is looking more likely to the day, but would he actually leave the team he's been with his whole career? I think it's very much possible. It's not exactly a secret that Verstappen has been unhappy with Red Bull's dealings of things for the past couple of years, and more recently their decision to drop Liam Lawson from the team. If Max feels like his voice isn't being heard in the team he's given multiple championships to, it wouldn't surprise me if his head started to turn. 2026 regulations. 2026 is right around the corner, and usually with new regulations, especially engine specific regulations, comes the team who gets everything right and will likely dominate for a period of time. Could this be Mercedes again? There is rumors that Mercedes and their 2026 engine is going to be the class of the field, just like it was in 2014, and I'm sure Max Verstappen will be well aware of this. The fastest drivers want to be in the fastest cars, and if he has doubts about Red Bull and Mercedes make a convincing enough offer, maybe we could see history repeating itself. A world champion switching teams for a rival. We all remember Lewis Hamilton's switch to Mercedes. It seemed like a crazy decision at the time, and many people thought that it wouldn't actually happen. Lewis was McLaren, much like Verstappen is Red Bull, but it's Formula 1 and anything can happen. Mercedes could have the foundations to lead the field in 2026, and I'm sure if Toto had the chance, he would snap at Verstappen. And I don't really care what people say, I'm 100% sure Toto Wolff would drop Russell from the team if Verstappen was available. I don't really see Antonelli going anywhere as long as he performs, because he is the future, but I'm pretty sure Toto has dreams about a Kimi Antonelli and Max Verstappen partnership. George is a really good driver, but is he great? Is he the best? He's performing really well this season, but if Verstappen becomes available, I don't really think it's a question for Toto Wolff. And Toto Wolff hasn't exactly been shy about his fondness of Max, and I'm sure there will be an offer on the table ready for Max if he starts questioning his future at Red Bull. A new challenge. Max has been in the Red Bull family for pretty much his whole career, starting in Toro Rosso in 2015 as part of the Red Bull Junior family, and then getting fast-tracked into the Red Bull in 2016 after just 4 races into the season, and he's been racing for Red Bull ever since. That is a long time to spend with one team, so it wouldn't surprise me if Max would just like a new challenge. Yes, Max has it very comfortable at Red Bull. He gets what he wants. He's the priority there. He knows the ins and outs of the team. However, Max maybe fancies a new challenge, and maybe he wants to push himself to the next level. You can't really blame himself if he wants to push himself and prove himself in a new team. It's rare that a driver only ever drives for one team in their whole career, especially world champions. They always want to challenge themselves and will do anything to keep themselves at the top and do anything to keep themselves in the fastest car. And Verstappen hasn't exactly been shy about his growing concerns at Red Bull, the Christian Horner drama, Adrian Newey leaving, dropping teammates which he has disagreed with, Red Bull being unable to develop their car and stay the class of the field, making it harder for Max to fight at the very top. And Max's dad, Jos Verstappen, has made his thoughts clear about this as well. Many times in the media, he's never shy to give his feelings or thoughts about how Red Bull is run and what he's not happy with. If Max sees trouble ahead at Red Bull, why would he want to stay? Even if Max switched teams and it wasn't the fastest car, it really wouldn't be the end of the world, because Max is more than capable of making an average car look good, and I also think it would just be good for the sport to see Max challenged in a new car. Sometimes change can be good, and I think it would be good for everyone to see Max challenged and see him prove himself in a new team. I think it's just something that I selfishly want to see, and I think many other people would like to see as well. We want to see things mixed up a bit. Bring it on. Now, we all know Mercedes' interest in Max, but could Max go to Aston Martin? Aston Martin have big plans, and they will be in a new engine partnership with Honda in 2026. Now, Honda got everything wrong at the start of the hybrid era, and we all remember what happened there. They had an absolute nightmare, but eventually they got everything right, producing a good enough engine for Red Bull to win 4 consecutive championships with Max. So maybe they could get it right in 2026 with Adrian Newey now steering the ship there. I'm pretty confident the chassis is going to be strong. I can't remember the last time, or if ever, Adrian Newey has made a bad car. You'd probably have to go back a long time to see that. I know a car isn't down to one man in Formula 1, it takes a whole team, but the guy is a genius and everything he touches seems to turn to gold. So if he's leading the aero team, I will be watching very closely. Lawrence Stroll also has lots and lots of money, and he is desperate to make Aston Martin a success at any cost. What better way to bring success to your team than having Max Verstappen lead your team, the fastest driver in F1? What more could you want? Even though a Verstappen Stroll lineup would have me in stitches, and Stroll might as well pack his bags to save the embarrassment, if I was him, I would beg my dad, please don't sign Verstappen. Don't do that to me. The only reason I'd see Lawrence Stroll not doing that is he wants to see his son win races and win championships, and if they're the fastest car and Verstappen's with him, Stroll has absolutely no chance. Stroll would have absolutely no chance against Verstappen. Not that I think Stroll would even have a chance anyway, being in a championship winning car, but going up against Verstappen, his dad would be taking any hopes away from Stroll whatsoever. So who knows, maybe Aston Martin is a viable option for Max. I certainly wouldn't rule it out for 2026, especially if Max decides to look elsewhere. There's also been news the past couple days that Max Verstappen has a clause in his contract. He is contracted till 2028 with Red Bull, but there seems to be a clause in his contract that if the car isn't quick enough or it can't deliver for him to win titles, that he can get out of it and switch teams, which that is big news for other teams. If the Red Bull continues not to perform this year, then Max could have a get out clause, and if other teams put a decent offer on the table, this is just another reason that Max could leave. If I was Red Bull, I'd be pretty scared right now, because if they can't sort the car out this year, they have to make a pretty convincing offer to Verstappen that 2026 and going forward they're going to have a stable enough car that can win championships. There's still a long way to go in the 2025 season, and it really wouldn't surprise me if Max could drag that Red Bull to another championship, despite it not being the fastest car. But I definitely think it's something to keep our eye on and watch as the season unfolds. If Max loses trust in Red Bull, it could be game over for them. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe. It really helps, and I'd love to have you a part of this community. Also, let me know your thoughts about this topic. Do you think Verstappen will leave Red Bull in 2026? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.